So this is my dual screen computer setup, and as you'll see, the monitor on the left, I'm getting a green screen on. This has just started happening. Both these monitors are just TVs. I never actually buy computer monitors. They're generally twice the price, and nowadays they have the same resolution as your standard TVs. Not much difference, so I generally go for TV. Anyway, yeah, as you'll see on the left, I've got this problem of a green screen showing up on my monitor. Done a bit of Googling, and it seems like more often than not it's just a bad connection inside the TV itself where the electronics are. It just needs a bit of cleaning and should be able to get the screen back up and running. So we'll take it apart, have a look, see if it fixes the problem. Just to clarify, this is the monitor turned in and plugged on without any signals going to it. So that's just making sure that the problem is actually with the monitor and not with the signal that goes into the screen. So I'm getting a green screen even though there's no VGA or HDMI plugs plugged into the unit. So yeah, for this problem, obviously you make sure that the monitor itself is doing the green screen and it's not a signal that's coming into it that's affected. Right, so this is the back of the monitor open. The top, that's the top, this is the bottom. Obviously this is the main board here, and this connection here goes to the actual monitor screen. And if we trace that back, it actually attaches in here into this board. So first thing I'm going to try is actually just attach both this and this connection here. I will clean them with isopropyl alcohol. If you don't have that, you could use acetone, so nail polish remover. If you've got a girlfriend, nail polish remover will do the same sort of trick. With a cotton wool bud, I'll clean the connections down, reattach them, and then see if that solves the problem. Okay, so I just cleaned those two connections that I pointed out, screwed it back together, turned it back on again, and as you can see, no green screen. I've got no signal at the moment, obviously, because I've got nothing going in there, but we're back to a standard proper screen. Now, I will give this a week. I use this every day, so I'll test it for the next week, because just in case it might have been some other problem and I've just jagged it. But yeah, I'll come back in a week's time and see how it's going. Okay, so it's been a week now and my dual monitor screen, and that was the one that was green before, is working fine, as you can see. One thing I forgot to mention is if you're going to remove the back of your monitor to do this job, just unplug your monitor and leave it for half an hour before you open it up. It does have an electronic component called a capacitor inside it, which stores energy, so you're best off to make sure you just give it half an hour, and that will let it drain any energy that is stored, and then it won't discharge electricity. The other thing to do is just there's a big metal sheet on the inside, as you saw, of the monitor. Just put your hand to that to ground yourself when you first start to work, just to discharge any static electricity. But aside from that, the job itself, the hardest part was finding all the screws to remove the back end of the monitor. And then, like I said before, I just cleaned it with some isopropyl alcohol, and job done, monitor's back to good. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but generally speaking, because these components are so small these days, it only takes a tiny bit of dust or a little bit of build-up, or even, you know, over time, some moisture and a bit of corrosion on the outside of a connection to stop it from working correctly. So even just the fact of removing those connections and putting them back in again, that could have just been enough. But cleaning them with the isopropyl is always a good idea. I do that with most of my electronics. And yeah, there we go. Job done.